This is the Clam Shelter's first trip. This is the shakedown trip. What a trip it's been. Plenty of wind the first couple of days, bitter cold, and now we're getting a good dose of snow. I mean, I couldn't have picked a better week to come out camping. I'm getting the full range. This is everything I could ever have wanted in camping. I love it. So I love sharing these trips with people, and you can really help me by clicking like. I picked the coldest day of the year to camp, and I had my clam shelter. I bought a new one, and I had it modified. I'm on the Vistabule Facebook Vistabule forum, and that Steve McClellan runs. And I get a lot of good ideas there, and one person I was chatting with was Judith McConville and Rob Coates. They had their clam shelters modified. Judith had the idea to have side doors added to the clam shelter and to have a snood attached to the front so it mates up with the vestibule. It gave me the information I needed. I contacted CROSWELL Canvas in Pennsylvania. I'll have links in the bottom in the comments for these guys. It's telephone or mail only, paper mail. It's a Amish operation, a canvas shop. They do boat sails and other canvas, Conestoga wagons. And I communicated with them, and they've done about a dozen of these modifications based on Judith's idea for other vestibule owners and other teardrop owners. They're really familiar with the vestibule, so if you have a vestibule, these are the guys to contact. They got the dimensions and everything. I ordered the clam shelter, and on Judith's suggestion, she saved me a lot of money. I had it shipped directly to CROSWELL Canvas, and they did the work, and they shipped it back to me. Now, it wasn't cheap, but for a guy like me doing what I like to do, this is perfect. I mean, it's just really great. It took them about a month. The communication with them, since they're Amish, it has to be telephone or it has to be paper mail. Yeah, I had to send them photographs and things telling them what I wanted. I'll do a lot more reviews of this later in the year. It's just not a good day to do this right now. I'm very happy with the work they did. They cut the door out, which is a mosquito door, and they put on this apron up here, right, to mate up with the vestibule, and it spreads out and comes down the sides. Now this side, you know, when you set up these clams on uneven ground, they sort of list to one side and they behave a little differently. I'm going to loosen this up. And you know, it's not a perfect seal, but it's very good. I mean, it keeps out all the wind, and we're getting 40-mile-an-hour gusts today, and it's been just fine. So let me do a 360, then I'll show you the door. Let me back up a bit. Okay, my own little yurt here. It's held up very good. Last night was very windy. It held up great, and it's just doing fine. Now I'll show you this side. This side, as you can see, maybe the clam shelter's not centered on the door. I nailed it down with steel stakes on this trip. The ground is frozen here. I have plastic stakes, but I didn't trust them in this frozen tundra I'm in. They also put on a little drawstring here, and I think I need warmer weather to use that. What that will do is it will snug the snood around the trailer a little tighter, and there's even an apron underneath that should rise up and attach to the trailer. It's a huge improvement, and I'm having a blast out here. Hey, look, I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. These Dokio solar panels, 300 watts each, they're great. They charged my trailer up so fast today, I couldn't believe it. One of the things you want to consider is the trailer's about 15 feet long, and the clam shelter's another 12, I think. That's like 27 feet or so, you know. You got to make sure you have a campsite that's long enough to get this in it. Most campsites are, but just consider that. You just unzip this door, the screen door, and open this up, and you're in. Based on Judith and Rob's input, I had one option is to put the door right here, but it's kind of close, and especially for me, because I have solar charging, I have my controllers here, and my wiring is going in here. So I didn't want, that would be kind of a busy area for me. So what I did was I took their advice and I put the door back here on this second panel. You know, here's the trailer, here's the door, here's the first window. I had another window put here and another window put here. And when the mosquito conditions are right, this allows me to open this up and have really good airflow and good conditions. So I also went for a much lighter color based on my experience. The brown color, certain models only come in brown, but this beige I love. It's a very warm, inviting, psychologically comforting color. I've had odd colors like orange, tents that are orange and blue and green, but for me, they made food and other things look an unnatural color. I didn't like them, so I like earth tones, and that's what I've got here, and it looks really awesome at night. I was in here last night. I had my my heater going, and it just worked out great. I just love it. It's much warmer in here. I just wanted to make a note that I do have a carbon monoxide detector in here. It's the home unit, battery operated, runs on AA, so that's in here because I'm running a propane heater, and it's always a good idea. Plenty of people make mistakes and die using a propane heater in an enclosed space, and this is an enclosed space, but that's my solution. The rule of thumb is no matter where you are, if you're using a heater and you feel a little bit dizzy, get out of there and ventilate. You don't want to have a problem. So I just made dinner. Everything's going really well. Got a little lighting in here. It's very well lit in here. I love it. I'm using Lumi noodles. I have 3 of them up in here. I have 2 lanterns. They run on D cells. They run quite a while. They're very nice. And I have the Vistabule light. This is enough. It's really quite good. I have water stashed down here, trying to let it stay a little warmer. And the experimentation continues. It's 16 degrees out now, and it's 7 p.m. So I'm expecting it to go quite low. And tomorrow night, it's really going to go down to single digits. I don't know how low it's going to get tonight, but we'll see. And I'm quite comfortable. Just getting out of the wind makes just such a big difference. And I set this up in the night last night, you know, just before dark. I'm sure in the summer I can set this up much better and center it better, and it will work a little better. So this material I use, vinyl covered canvas, and you know, it's working just fine. They were limited. Some of the things I wanted them to do, they were limited on because the fabric of the clam shelter is so thin, and it's, you know, very, very thin coating. They were concerned about the strength of the material, and I listened to them. You know, they know their stuff. The things they used were really good. These zippers they're very big zippers, very strong, and they put a little triangle in here. I'm not sure. I talked to them. They said that's just to cover up the zipper for aesthetics. I thought maybe it was for strength. I wouldn't bother with that. I mean, it just adds weight. You don't need it, really, in my opinion. But everything else, workmanship was top-notch. No complaints. So it helps to understand the limitations of a clam shelter. While it's yurt-like, it's not a yurt. Yurts you can insulate with wool. They insulate yurts with wool. This is just nylon fabric. So it keeps the wind out pretty well. It's a little drafty in there, but a big improvement over out here. So, and it does a good job of that, considering what I've got here. And that's wonderful. But if I heat it, or so, you know, in the sun now, it's translucent. It's letting the sunlight in, which is a big asset. It's warming up inside pretty well. It's above freezing in there now because of the sun, solar radiation. Look, I put in 2 propane tanks. I have a 10-pounder here and a 10-pounder here, and I have a third one on the space heater. Just fooling around with them. I'm running the heat all day. I have a laptop with me. I want to keep it from freezing, so I set the heat in the lowest temperature in there. It goes down to about 37 at that temperature. It just keeps things above freezing, and that's fine for me. When I go inside, I can make it as warm as I want in there. If I want it to go up to 85 degrees or 90, I can get it up to that with the Propex heater.
Winter storm warning remains in effect until 1 p.m. Tuesday. Watch additional snow accumulations of